Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is the Conjuring 3, the return of our successful Dimir Synthesizer that hits the opponent from multiple angles. We've brought some removals this time, along with a defensive measure designed to buy us time. Our goal is simple: smash the opponent's defenders with assault after assault from our robot overlords. Failing that, we have a backup plan involving a terrifying artifact that will drain the opponent with every artifact that enters play on our side. Let's get the shell in there. We're playing the full set of 3 steps ahead, the Swiss Army knife, in any synthesizer list. It gives us 3 options, all of which are useful. We're particularly interested in the copy mode, as that can give us a token synthesizer. As a turn 4 play, there is hardly anything else stronger. A counterspell is always good, as is the card search mode that can help us dig up additional ammo. Cryogenic Relic is an excellent 2-mana artifact. It will draw us a card when it enters and when it leaves play. For another 2 mana, we can sacrifice the relic to slow down an enemy. Delaying the opponent's men can buy us a turn or 2 to further develop our board, and the card draw can help us find our key cards. The relic is also strategically placed to help us find our way out of a shuffler special. The Terminus of Return is a mana artifact that will get us out of shuffler specials, and later in the game, we can harness the power of the Terminus. Once we do, we can return dead men in our grave back to the battlefield. While we can get men from our grave back, we have only 1 in the entire deck. The Terror is so good, we want to be able to get it back in the event it ends up in an early grave. Tithing Blade is a removal artifact we've used in the past in a different series of Dimir Synthesizer, and we've brought it on board to help cut down enemy men. While it isn't targeted removal, the blade will help reduce enemy numbers, and as a 2-mana artifact, it's one we can copy with a 3 steps ahead if we need to. And it makes perfect fodder for our Repurposing Bay, which will let us sacrifice our 2-mana artifacts to fetch out our synthesizer or a helm. It's the perfect way to make sure we get a factory online to start generating robot overlords. We can even turn an extra 3-mana artifact into one of our 4-mana artifacts for only 2 mana. This is a great way to get one of our terrors in play and to trigger any factories we have on board. The synthesizer is our key card. When it enters, we get a scry 2 that can help us find additional weapons, and once in play, we will generate a robot overlord with every artifact that is 3 mana or more that enters play on our side. All hail our robot overlords. The Helm is a fantastic partner to the synthesizer. With it in play, we will generate a map token with every artifact token that enters play on our side. And for 2 mana, we can copy any token artifact we have on board. This copy ability is amazing as we can keep making copies of the synthesizer or any of our other artifacts once we've made a token copy of it. Aetherize is a defensive measure that we'll use to hold off enemy men who are bent on doing us harm. We'll bounce all attackers back to their owner's hand, saving us from any damages. And the opponent will be forced to replay their men. This could easily give us the advantage if we're generating robot overlords. While it is not a board wipe, its effect is very similar and it only affects the opponent. Pactdoll Terror is our surprise killer on wheels. The goal is to get a terror on board, then get as many artifacts as possible into play to trigger the drain and gain. For extra drain action, copying the terror will double up the triggers and speed up the process. And because it is an artifact, it will generate robot overlords if we have any factories in play. It's a 1-2 punch to the face that is certain to terrify opponents. Anchovy and Banana Pizza is a new artifact from the recent Turtles set. This pizza enters play, and we get to snipe an enemy and trigger any factories we have. Then, we can sacrifice it to gain 3 life if the game is getting a little tight. This pizza is also a great copy target, as that will get us additional removals and triggers for our factories whenever we make a copy. The Black Virtue is a powerful tool in our arsenal. We can use it to snipe small enemies, and later in the game we can drop it in for its full price and get men from any grave. This is a secondary way to get any terrors back in play that were killed off early, and if the opponent has particularly strong men, we can get them on our side. For lands, we're playing 4 Watery Grave, the Dimir Shock land, 4 Gloomlake Verge, the island that becomes a duel when we have an island or swamp in play, 7 Swamp, 2 Uthros, Titanic, Godcore, the special land that can tap for a blue mana for each artifact we control, but only after we station 12 power worth of men, and 7 island. Playing the deck is the same as the majority of other synthesizer decks. We have early plays which help advance our board, as well as the early Tithing Blade to keep enemy men in check. Use the blade early as it becomes less effective once the opponent builds a team of men. Both the blade and the relic make great fodder for the Repurposing Bay if we get one early. At 4 mana, we have the pizza to snipe enemies while we continue to build up or dig up our key cards. An Aetherize can slow down an opponent and buy us even more time. Getting a factory online along with a terror can stall out most attackers. After that, it's a matter of continuing to build and add pressure. Team Robot Overlord for the W. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Chicken. Him and his chicken feet skip leg day. He is a little afraid that he spelled chicken wrong. We're kicking things off with a 4-lander with double relic and a 3 steps ahead. The relic draws will have to be excellent. Keep your pants on. This is the first version of the Conjuring 3, which if you want to try this one out, you can swap the Tithing Blades for Virus Beetles. There is nothing wrong with this version, but I preferred running the blades over having discard available. Our first relic draws us a 3rd relic. We've drawn into the card draw portion of our deck, so at least we can make the cards flow if we have the time and opportunity. They go through their second turn without any plays, which gives us a chance to drop more relics. These draws are not really going how I'd like. Luckily, we still have even more draw in hand. They play out a Hydra, and at long last we know what they're up to. They're usually loaded with smaller men they can drop early, but maybe they were too chicken to make plays for fear of removals. We draw a Helm, and if we copy a relic, we can keep ourselves in card draw and stunning their Hydra for the remainder of the game. Delicious and spicy, yes. Practical, no. We draw a Bay, and that is our first really excellent card. With it, we can turn all these relics into factories. Their play is a Terra Symbiosis. It's card draw for those decks that love to play this landfall stuff. They send it, and we'll use one of our relics to slow down their beefy goodness. The draw from the relic gets us an Aetherize, and that puts us in pretty good shape. We draw another Helm, but that gives us the power to sacrifice one to get a terror. For this turn, we'll drop in the Bay, and we can use it right away. We want to start synthesizing our full metal robots as soon as we can. They fatten up their Hydra, which is fine. It's not going anywhere on their turn. On top, we have a land and a virtue. I don't know where all these lands are coming from, but we're sending everyone we see on down. They plop down a golden turkey. That's more of what we're used to seeing. And they follow up with another Hydra. Hail Hydra, am I right, bro? We'll go ahead and trade in our relic for another factory. We're going to want to generate men in numbers. Our relic draws us another synthesizer. We've found 3 already. Prices will be slashed. Even our Broco Oppo will be able to get his hands on a brand new model of our latest Robot Overlord series. On top, we have a 3 steps ahead and a beetle. If this beetle were a Tithing Blade, I'd be happier to see it. But here we are. The beetle will have to do. For now, we're going to leave mana up for our Aetherize. If they have a passage, they have lethality on board. Plus, we know these greedy players will be sending it all. They drop in a traveling turkey. It's golden and plump. Someone start making some gravy. And there's the passage we knew they'd have. It never fails. They send everyone that can go. Never mind that the Hydras alone would have been enough. We'll block up to see if they have additional pump, or if what they have on board is all they have. We're so dead, bro. Better maximize your damages and pump your team. Welp, Aetherize, you're up. That's 160 damages, if only any of it was landing. They exercise their right to eliminate one of our factories. It's okay, we have more than just synthesizers coming. We'll snipe one of these golden turkeys. It's best they not have the advantage it gives them. Then we can play out a helm to help our team grow faster. Let's send it while we have the edge on board. Damages, bro, damages. They come down with one of their Hydras. They are back to mortal size now that we've reset them. They follow up with a sizable body and bebop and rock steady. But if they're hoping to make trades with that, they're going to be horribly disappointed. Before we do anything, we'll just send it. They will want to block at least 2 of our robot overlords. They block up to stop all the damages. That's their whole team being flushed away. From here, we'll hold what we got. We can make an instant synthesizer, and you know how I love my surprise factories. They fire off a split up, but that has no chance. Negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is full. This here, 3 steps ahead, will stuff that thing back in their pants. It seems we broke their spirit. Chicken had their feathers plucked, and they are going to spend the next 10 minutes smashing their keyboard. That's GG's. This chicken can get the smell out of town. This is Colonel Sanders. No, wait, it's not KFC. It's Kentucky Chicken Kirkendall. We get a mono black shuffler special with 3 of our key cards, but this isn't going to work. Mull. Then we get a 3-lander with a factory, a terminus, and double 3 steps ahead. This will be fine. Keep. We'll send a Swiss Army knife on down. We have an excellent line of plays with what we have in hand. They play out a survivor, and I'm guessing this is that one deck that loves using enchantments to boost their men. It's awful, but they keep playing it anyways. We draw a Tithing Blade, and while the Terminus sets us up for a surprise synthesizer, I think eliminating their guy is a better option here. They tend to run so few men. Losing 1 or 2 is crippling to their entire strategy. They go with an aerialist, and that's further proof they're on the awful enchantment strategy. I would bet real money they've got us sheltered by ghosts in hand. We draw a 4th land, which is fantastic. We can skip the terminus and go straight to dropping our factory down. On top, we have a 2nd Tithing Blade and a land. We'll ship the land as we don't really need that many. With a 2nd blade inbound, we can save our 3 steps ahead to copy the factory. We no longer need to copy our 1st blade. There's the sheltered by ghosts we knew they'd have. This deck of theirs is really for people who don't like to play real MTG. Unfortunately for them, this is the end of the line for their double-warded friend. 2 mana and that thing is toast and we get our factory back. They scoop it up. What a trash deck. Maybe now they'll play something else. This is Nico back. They don't need eyes nor brains, apparently. We get a mono black shuffler special once again. Triple Terror is nice, but we can't keep this. Mull. Then we get a 3-lander with double blade, a virtue, and an Aetherize. This should give us a chance. Keep. We'll send the Aetherize on down. With triple removals in hand, we should have time to draw into more firepower. Ouch, our bro mulls all the way down to 5. That's a very bad start. They go with a Warren Guard. Lee looks a bit like the old Selesnya rabbits. They were good for a hot second. They play out the Weaver Saga, which gives them a token. That's all fine. They are not really as fast and furious as they probably think. We'll use the Virtue to snipe their Easter Bunny. They'll go down a man, and we'll go up 2 life. Their token is the only one around to receive any pump. That's still a 3-spot, at least for now. We'll unload a blade, and it doesn't matter how many protection spells they have in hand, those are all useless. Yeah, I like the blade a bit more than the beetle. And I'm glad we made the change. The play out another Warren Guard, maybe they are mono white. They've lost a lot of power by not going Selesnya. We draw a relic, and originally I was going to go with the Terror, but now we can drop the second blade in and take out their second Easter Bunny. We want artifacts to drop after we play the Terror, so we'll hold the relic. They play out the Grand Entryway, and they'll get a 1/1 token. Token white, then? We draw a 3 steps ahead. With it, we can make a token copy of our Terror. I like it. They power up their token with an aura. Maybe it's a slightly different version of mono white enchantments. It's odd they want to trade blows. They're doing only 2, and we can return fire for 3, and we have drain available as well. We draw a factory, and we'll drop it in. We went from having an advantage to we can blow them out now. On top, we have a pizza and a land. We'll ship the land, but we want a slice. The relic will draw us the pizza, and we'll get another point of drain. Then we can send it for some good old-fashioned hits. They play out a seam rip. Their pants are coming undone from the stress. They can't take our factory, and taking one of our other artifacts doesn't really do them any good. They are so cooked. We just need to add beans and bacon. We draw a second factory. The intelligence might be artificial, but the beatings will be real. On top, we have a pair of lands, and we'll ship them both. They play out a doll shop, and that will get them another token if they send it, which they probably shouldn't do. They still send it. Outmanned and outgunned, they tap a critical blocker for damages that are getting them nowhere. We'll use the relic on their flyer and make their blocking that much harder. They saved their token, but that's fine. We've got a loaded board and an excellent hand. We draw a second terror, and that should be GG's. We have enough drain to get them low, and a pair of men to send in. This is the Claw. No, wait, it's Jekla. What on earth are you wearing? We get a shuffler special with a couple of our early removals, then not much in the way of action after that. Mull. Then we get a mono black shuffler special with a good mix of cards. All we really need is a blue mana on or before turn 3. Keep. I think the pizza is the card we can afford to lose. It's that or the Terminus, and I like knowing we can get to 4 mana. They throw down a Soul Guide Lantern. That works as a good anti-shuffler special card, I suppose, and stops reanimation antics right in their tracks. We draw a Watery Grave, and that's our blue mana. We'll be happy to pay the 2 life. They play out an Authority. They must be on some kind of control. We draw a second Factory, and unless they have answers for those, we are going to be in business. On top, we have a pair of lands. We'll keep the island as we do need more blue mana. They squeeze out some bricks. I would too if my opponent was dropping factories on me. It's time for our second factory, and we'll get our first Robot Overlord. Take a look at your future. On top, we have a pair of lands, but we don't want more. Let's pass on these. Our relic gets us a bay. Things are going to get hot up in here. You order 1 Robot Overlord, and 2 will show up at your door. They play out a bay of their own. They are behind on factories, and it might be a turn or 2 before they can get any Robot Overlords online. We sent 3 lands in a row on down to the bottom, and we draw a land anyways. We have the mana to play out the bay and activate it right away. Sure, they will gain some life, but Robot Overlord Team 6 will hit for more than they gained. They fire off a Battlefront. That's the one card that can get them back in this game, depending on how they built their deck. That seems like a dud to me. They got another bay and a Star Cage. Sure, that will deal with our men now, but we can always generate more. We draw a pizza, and we can either play it out, or we can use the bay and sacrifice our Helm to fetch out a Terror. It's all down to which one seems like the best way to go. I do like just getting Robot Overlords with the pizza, as the Helm is such a big helper once we have AI men on board. Let's use a map token. We'll want to clear out lands off the top, so we draw mostly ammo. That's a relic on top, and that's fine. They finally get a factory down. With double bay, they might even be able to generate some Robot Overlords. They kept both of their cards on top, so probably not going to bay a 4-drop onto the board. They squeeze out more bricks, and that will be GG's. They forgot to get themselves a blocker. I don't know if they are playing 4-drop artifacts like we are, but if you're playing the bay, maybe you should be. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.